Now we come to the end of this chapter, that is the topic salts. In this chapter, we learn two different substances, that is acid and base. The third substance is salt. So you have learned in the chemical characteristics of acid and bases that an acid dissolves in water, reacts with a base, also dissolves in water to form salts and water as the product. So we learned about salts in this chapter through different reactions. So the term salt is very familiar to you. When I say about salt, the compound came into your mind is sodium chloride. So it is not general name that salt is a general name, and it does not refer only to sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is just one member of a huge family of compounds called salts. So in addition to sodium chloride, we have a large number of other salts too. So before explaining that, let us look what is a salt. A salt is a neutral substance produced from the reaction of an acid and a base. So generally we can say that the salts are formed when acids and bases react. Acids and bases react, or acid react with a base. So we can say that the salt has acid and base. When it's react together, it neutralizes. Salts are generally base ionic in nature, or generally ionic compounds made up of positively charged ions and negatively charged ions. Okay, a salt means it consists of positively charged. Example, a potassium chloride is a salt which consists of potassium as a positive charged particle, and chloride is a negatively charged particle. So we can say that salts is composed of the negative ion of an acid and the positive ion of a base. We will explain how these salts are formed. So generally we can say that salts are ionic compounds. Why I say ionic compounds? It made up of positively charged ions and negatively charged ion. What is positively charged ion? We generally call them as cation. We studied in the 9th standard. Positively charged ions are called cations and negatively charged ions are called anions. So in a salts, it contains positively charged ions and negatively charged ions. That's why that salts are called ionic compound. So those compounds which contain positively charged particle and negatively charged particle, we call them as ionic compounds. So salt is an ionic compound. How it is produced? It is produced after the neutralization reaction between acid and a base. So we can call them as they are electrically neutral substance. They are electrically neutral substance. Some of the salts, the common salt is a salt, that is we usually call it as common salt. General name of that is sodium chloride. It's a common salt. Sodium chloride is also known as table salt or common salt. As you all know that it is used for enhancing the taste of the food. So there are different types of salts we will study in this chapter. Some of the salts are ammonium chloride, ammonium nitrate, calcium chloride. All these have different uses. We know that ammonium chloride is a salt that is used in the storage batteries. Ammonium nitrate is used as a fertilizer. Calcium chloride is a drying agent. Iron sulfate, it is used in iron tablets. And magnesium sulfate is also used in medicines. Then potassium nitrate, it is used in gunpowder. Silver bromide and silver chloride, we have studied in the first chapter, it is used in photography. And sodium stearate, that also is salt, we will study later in the carbon compound that is used in making salts. So these are some of the salts. Let us look how these salts are formed. In this chapter, we have learned so many reactions, how acid reacts with the base, how acid reacts on carbonate, and how acid reacts with the metal. In all these reactions, we have seen the formation of a salt. Formation of a salt in this. In the first reaction, acid with a base, we got a salt and water. So what we got here is a salt. The second reaction, acid when it is reacts with the metal carbonate. Do you remember this reaction? When acid reacts with the metal carbonate, the products are salt, water and carbon dioxide. So what is produced here is a salt. In third reaction, we studied when an acid reacts with a metal, it produces salt and hydrogen. So the produced substance is a salt. From here itself, we got three types of salt. Copper sulfate is a salt, sodium sulfate, calcium chloride, zinc sulfate, all these are salts. How these are formed? Due to the reaction of a base and an acid, or to the reaction with an acid and a carbonate, or acid plus metal. So a salt is produced when an acid reacts with a base. So here this carbonate is acts as a base. Here it acts, metal is acts as a base, reacts with a base. The salt consists of two parts. One part comes from the base and the other parts comes from the acid. So in this reaction, sodium hydroxide when reacts with the hydrochloric acid forms sodium chloride and water. This is a salt. So from different reaction we get the compound salt.